What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Adam, here with Director Jolie and Coach Tara today. We're going to be getting into a topic very much in the news, for lack of a better term, just a very current day topic with GLP-1 medications, how to protect your muscle, your energy, and how to basically find well-balanced results, I guess. So before we get into the topic, though, as always, member of the week for this week is going to be Mr. Ryan Shermock. Ryan is a longtime member. Don't exactly know how long. I believe he's legend, maybe?
At least a few years.
I think he's a legend.
Yeah.
That
legend in
doesn't
life.
just mean, that doesn't just mean like a legend. He has at least 1,000 workouts logged here. So,
yeah.
Been here a long time, but one of those guys that could always like lift the gym, right? The dude benches like 285 for reps. And we had a little bit of a realization or a breakthrough with him as far as his approach to training, because strength is never an issue for him. It is more about range of motion, mobility. He has trouble at his joints with some joint pain and stuff like that. So kind of took a different approach with him entering this last strength phase. And he's also on the knee program and is a great, has had good results with it. Improved his mobility. I've seen a lot of change in him. He's almost always at 4:00 in the afternoons. So kind of awesome to see that.
Yeah. I think it's been cool to watch his brain, like his wheels turn a little bit of like, oh, okay, like, yes, I can lift heavy, but like the quality of my movement, like I want the quality to be there and feel better. Right. So
he's always got the strength in the bag. So we started to kind of turn the focus and it's coming full picture. So
let's go, Ryan.
Let's go, Ryan. All right. So, GLP-1s topic, very current. What do they actually do? So as far as the benefits, and you may look at it as a benefit, you may not, but we'll get into it. The whole idea behind a GLP-1 is that it's supposed to suppress your appetite, having a lot to do with insulin resistance, and essentially increase your feeling of fullness after eating, right? It also improves blood sugar control or helps with it, regulation. And it could make it easier to be in a calorie deficit, which is, of course, one way to approach losing body fat or losing weight overall. So those are kind of the three, I guess, benefits or what people are looking to happen once they start taking one. The challenge with it is that, of course, people start eating significantly less than they were before being on the medication. So that in itself, you're going to lose weight, eating less food, of course. But the problem is it's not selecting. Your body doesn't go and say, okay, I'm only going to lose body fat.
Target.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Can't put a target on the spot, just like you can't spot reduce. People say they want to lose their belly fat. It's an overall picture, right? So the scale doesn't know the difference between fat, muscle, water when you go and you jump on your regular scale in your bathroom or whatever. So we're going to get a little bit more into why it is important to complement taking the GLP-1s and strength training specifically, why you should be keeping on muscle, and kind of how both things can work together, because at this point it's kind of, I think inevitable is the wrong word to use because it's here and it's right now. So it's things that we are noticing with some of our members that are taking GLP-1s openly. They share it with us. We ask them, but how they're able to balance that with their strength training as well.
Right.
So when you guys want to take away maybe the muscle loss issue,
Sure.
the problem behind that.
Yeah. So I think, well, and one of the biggest things too is, right, like we're not doctors. We're not leading you to take one or to not, right? But our job is to like deliver the facts to you of, yes, there's been some studies done and what we're seeing in the gym and how we can best do our job to like support you if you are on one, right? So with it, just as you were saying, Adam, like the GLP-1 medications, they don't discriminate fat loss, muscle loss, things like that. And so, yes, the scale number might be going down, but if we're losing lean muscle mass, especially as we age in just the general population, if you're not taking a GLP-1, that creates more risk for countless things, right? Like osteopenia, osteoporosis, like more risk of like breaking a bone if you fall, right? That lean muscle really helps support you as you age, healthy joints. And so putting on muscle doesn't necessarily mean like, let's bulk up and let's, become like a bodybuilder on a GLP-1, right? But we need to make sure that we're strength training in a progressive overload setting, which is what we do here, functional training, making sure we're lifting enough, giving the muscle enough stimulus to be building muscle instead of just, okay, let me do all this cardio. I'm taking a GLP-1 medication, so I'm going to lose weight. So let me make sure, like, that's an issue, right? So
definitely. Yeah, I think, as aging occurs, just natural aging process, we are going to get more frail. You lose muscle mass as you get older, especially like up over 50 and 60. So, it's already going to decrease with age. You definitely don't want to expedite the loss of muscle,
No.
because it just gets harder and harder to, I guess maybe a word to describe what you were talking about is like maintenance, right? You're not lifting to get swole, all these things. You need to maintain the muscle at a minimum. And then, if you're trying to experiment,
diminishing factor that's going to happen as you age.
Yeah, it's going to happen. So the reason why muscle is so important is it, of course, supports metabolism, your bone health, like you just touched on, balance and stability, which is big for older population as well. Stability is always an ongoing battle as aging progresses. Mobility, kind of like we opened up with talking about Ryan, like dude can lift the gym, but we need to address mobility as well. And then just like long-term maintenance, essentially, it's good body function, right? Just like anything else in your body, muscle has a function. So let's talk a little bit about why the strength training is like a non-negotiable, because I think an easy way out is people start taking the GLP-1s, they see the weight loss, like we touched on earlier, you jump on a scale, you're losing weight. So there's no real reason to the naked eye for somebody who's losing weight and maybe not strength training to then all of a sudden change their mind and go decide to start strength training. But I think we need to say you need the muscle to function properly. You have to help determine what kind of weight is lost, right? And I think as people are recognizing you need to do both things, another issue that we are noticing in the gym or is brought to our attention are energy drop-offs or energy levels. If people have started to take the GLP-1, it is a common complaint. So you guys want to touch a little bit on, I know we've heard from a few people about some fatigue or maybe even some weakness.
Well, it stems from, honestly, the lack of eating.
Yeah.
The GLP-1 has caused your appetite to suppress, so you're not eating as much as you were before. And we've talked about it multiple times. Nutrition, that is your fuel for your workout. So if you're not eating as much as you were, and not even just on a hunger standpoint, like literally just to fuel your body for your everyday life, you're going to feel that fatigue. You're going to feel low energy because your body literally does not have the energy source to feel as if I'm ready to do, at this point, anything.
Yeah.
Because they talking about they feel low energy just throughout the day in general.
Yeah, workouts like above and beyond.
Yeah,
right?
so
take workout out of the picture. You still need to
eat,
still need to function.
Yeah.
And then reducing the food intake, which is also that protein, the carb. So now you feel weaker because the body just doesn't have that protein source to help build the muscle that even when you're able to work out, you don't have those building blocks to help with that muscle growth that you're looking for in the weight room.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then hydration. Food does have, like, carbohydrate, like everything helps hydrate you, which brings you energy too. And so when people are experiencing like that energy dip, they'll usually come to me and they'll be like, "Oh, my workouts have like they've been great. Like everybody's been great, but like I'm feeling like I'm struggling to to make it here because I'm like pulling myself out of bed if it's in the morning or just, and so food timing becomes really big for them. And that's something that we work with people on is like, okay, let's make sure we're getting the protein, we're getting the carbs, we're timing it around your workout. I understand that your hunger levels are not the same, and it's something that it does come down to the individual. But usually have you guys heard stories of people here that have like found something that works for them? Because I think I
haven't heard stories, but I've done research on it, and a big thing was a strategy or a routine. So like if I work out at 7:00, I'm going to set up essentially like a food routine. I'm not going to feel hungry, but I know I'm going to eat. I know I'm going to need the fuel. So if I'm going to work out at this time, setting myself up to eat so many hours ahead so I know I have so much fuel for that workout.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good idea because it's like an unwavering thing that you can follow. And it's kind of like in an opposite sense, if somebody is struggling to hit a protein number or they're trying to put on mass, let's just say the opposite. Like
they do
eating,
the same thing.
you have to map out your meals. Like you might have just eaten a half an hour ago, but you're not going to hit your protein number unless you get snack number 3 in or whatever it is that you've built out in your routine. That sense of that consistency, it kind of takes the I guess the emotional kind of input into it. So, and over your body will adapt over time. So you just kind of got to be really disciplined with it. Some things I think in the gym that I've noticed is I've had a couple of people, one for like a GLP reason, but another one for a different condition, but how to adjust workouts within the parameters of our workouts, how they're structured here at Legacy. So, as far as the duration of a workout, that's pretty much always going to be relatively the same. So if you're out on your own, of course, you can play with the duration of your workout. Maybe they have to be 45 minutes and not up a little over an hour because you don't have that energy available to you. So you have to make adjustments and understand that you can still work as hard, right? The effort can remain high. There might just need to be an overall workload adjustment. So you don't want the small picture day-to-day workouts to necessarily change a whole lot where your effort level is no longer there, because if your effort level is not there, then you're going to lose interest, right? And you're going to lose progress and all the things like that. But if you adjust the workload and you say, okay, I'm going from like a 4-day-a-week person to I'll take a day off and become like a 3-day-a-week person, but at least the quality of those workouts and the effort can remain the same. Right? That's like a good way to balance and still understand that you need to be doing strength training, but give yourself a little bit of extra recovery, because the recovery capacity is probably going to be a little bit lower, especially if you're on these. And then same thing with like the energy availability is just not the same. So both of those things being lower take into consideration, but it's not a stop sign to stop training. You just might need to make subtle adjustments, basically.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's something too where it's, tell your coaches, tell us, even if it's something where some people are still uncomfortable with just expressing to us that they're on a GLP-1, and it's like, hey, this is something that you're doing for you. You made this decision. And then, having conversations on the training floor of like, hey, I'm feeling a little low energy today. And, just letting us in with that. Another piece that I wanted to touch on too is like making sure that we're staying on top of our in-body scans and things like that too. We do that in general here, at our integration weeks, at our different phases, but making sure that we're staying on top of that just to make sure, like going back to the muscle conversation of, okay, let's make sure that we're either sustaining or making sure that that's not such a drastic drop in muscle over time too.
Yeah, you can catch trends before they take like full effect, like positive or negative, right? And be able to, adjust your game plan or whatever it might be. So being consistent with those is important. I think building on the adjustments during the workout, like I had a couple people last week ask to remove power from their workout, which like for those who don't know, some people are doing an additional power block at the beginning of their workout, and obviously it's a higher workload than a person who doesn't have that power. And power movements require a lot of energy, and they're fast and often heavy. So I had, out of the two people that asked me to make that adjustment and essentially take it out, one of them is on a GLP-1 and starting to kind of feel the ramifications of the low energy. And so we made the adjustment, we took the power out, but then proceed with the rest of the workout like you normally would, right? So just trying to keep that sense of normalcy and keep the effort level high. Prioritizing compound movements, I think, is an important one too. Like if you're burning out in your workout and you're losing your energy at the very end is okay, because you've probably already done the important ones, right? You've already done the compounds in block 1 and block 2. If you're skipping some tricep and a core or something at the very end, it's not going to be the end of the world. You probably already addressed both of those things in some capacity earlier in the workout. So that could be another way to look at how to optimize your time, right? Like really focus on your compounds and make the most of them, basically. All right. So I think a common mistake, and we'll just do a couple more things here, but a common mistake with trying to fight that low energy is, as we sit here with 2 examples of it, caffeine reliance, like before a workout. Okay, we're doing it because we're here like 12 hours a day, but some people think, okay, I'm low on energy, didn't eat this morning, I'm going to crush a fill in the blank, whatever energy it is, to get some amount of caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant that masks fatigue. It's not going to provide you with more energy. It's not going to provide you the nutrients that you need to convert food, if you have any in your system, into energy to then go and work out. So, don't crush a caffeine drink and then come here and expect to have the same energy levels that you would have having like a breakfast, maybe in addition to the caffeine situation.
And I think that kind of, it does relate what Tara was saying too, of like, let's create a routine with your food. And sometimes it does come down to those basics to us, but things that we coach people on is like, make sure we're having water before coffee in the morning. Like, don't just change that up because you're struggling to get here for like a 8 a.m. workout, right? So it's a good point on the caffeine. People just they're like, okay, energy, instant energy, but actually that leads to more crashes later. So
true. And I think another, not myth, but thing that we'll kind of bust here is don't fixate so much on the calories burned. If you're on a GLP-1, you don't have very many calories to burn to begin with. So don't fixate on that number. No, a lot of the wrist things have it going on, your phone, whatever. You're probably already going to be in a deficit if this medication's working the way it should. And doing what it's supposed to be doing. So don't fall in love with trying to, burn 800 calories in a workout. Again, focus on the important things that are included in your workout. And then especially, if you go through an entire workout and then go and try and do additional cardio or something afterwards, you're going to be depleted, and that's where injuries can happen, right? Is when energy is low, form falls apart, focus falls apart, all those things. So I think we can pretty much all commonly agree here with that success with these GLP-1s is going to look like both taking them when and if necessary, but strength training and maintaining muscle mass while you lose weight. Right, because again, weight selection that is lost is not up to you. So you can do your best to,
if only.
If only. Preserving muscle and reducing body fat is, of course, what everybody wants, usually, most of the time. So we need to continue to do our part to support the muscle building part and maintenance part of that. And obviously, consistency, finding a routine, both food and exercise that work for you. Are the super important things, prioritizing your protein, staying hydrated, play with volume in your workouts when necessary, ask your coach about it. We don't want to just cut the workout in half, but there are ways to structure it differently if you're needing help with that. And then, measure your progress beyond like a number on a scale, right? And again, that goes along the lines of checking in with the in-bodies.
Building strength.
Yep. I think that's it. We got anything else to add?
Strength training is important in general, everybody, whether you're on a GLP-1 or you're not.
Yes.
Adding a GLP-1 into your life it's helped a lot of people. It's helpful for so many people, but like we can't stop the strength training, and this is not to bash another style of training, but it's like a yoga, a Pilates, like they're not going to put the same stimulus on your muscle that you need to sustain your muscle. Like just make sure you're strength training. Don't let your consistency fall off here. If you're on one, just can't drive that point home enough.
That's it. Like I have a backdoor on that. Like if you're on it, you're on it. That's your decision. Make sure you're doing the things necessary to still get the goals that you want. Yeah. Weight loss is only part of it.
Exactly.
You still want to build the muscle. You still want to do all the things. Like you said, as you age, you're going to lose it anyway. Yeah. You're doing everything you can now to help slow that process. Because as soon as you stop losing functional movement, we lose our independency and things just go south from there. So maintaining that muscle function, that strength allows you to remain independent in your life. Don't lose that for the GLP-1 and losing weight.
Yep.
Mic drop.
Perfectly said. We'll see you guys in the gym. I know it's fun and easy for us to say come and work out because we're nerds and we love doing it, but it has a function. Understand that, and we'll see you in the gym soon. Peace.